Loki and Imu are going blow for blow, and Imu and Joyboy were seemingly friends in the past. One Piece chapter 1181 is out, so let's go over it. The title of the chapter is A God and a Devil. In the cover request, we see Carrot is singing as she strolls over sleeping panda sharks at sea. This cover request, it's cool, bro. You can finally see Carrot, like the cover request, bro, I said before, like these are, I enjoy them honestly a lot because we get to see like characters which we haven't seen for a long time, like very like really likable side characters, like, and this is cool to see Carrot here. But I'm waiting on for the new, like, the cover story, like, which is like canon to the story, so I'm waiting for that order. But these are cool, bro. I love watching them, and like sometimes there are like little hints and like foreshadowing for future events in the main stories, and those are important. But here, yeah, I don't know, man, like it's cool, bro. It's cool. We can see like Carrot strolling with Carrot is like, bro, there's so many carrots here. Carrot is like holding carrots, and Carrot is like uh strolling over the panda sharks at sea, so yeah, that's it for the cover request, and let's jump into the chapter, bro. Like, it's insane, bro. Like, so the chapter starts off exactly where we ended off in the last week's chapter, where we see like Loki confronting Imu, and here we have a little like flashback to like 14 years ago, where King Herald was passing on his like last words to Loki, where King Herald said that I'm the worst king in the history of Elbaf. You must kill me and take the throne, Loki. And Loki like is talking to Imu and saying that he was only 144 at the end of the giants usually live to 300. He died way too soon. You tricked my dad, right? That makes you responsible for his death. Then Imu says, the one who suffered most from that inconvenience was Mu. So Imu genuinely believes that Imu was the one who suffered more from Herald, bro. This is crazy, guys. Like, bro, Imu thinks like they're the victim, bro. Like, oh my god, man. Whoa, this is unreal, man. I understand where Imu is coming from, the point of view, like, but saying that to Loki, who just lost his father because of that, it's crazy. It doesn't compare, bro. Like, and maybe it could be the reason why Imu is bleeding when they come to Elbaf. Like, as we know, probably if a Holy Knight dies, like Imu most likely loses like a part of their powers, and that like harms them directly, and that's why Imu was bleeding. Maybe that's why Imu has some problem to like going to the outside world. Maybe that could be it. That's why Imu has been like so persistent on going after Nidhogg in Elbaf, and then we then see like Loki charging up Ragnar, like getting ready to bring down the hammer on Imu, and we see lightning crackling in Elbaf, for like, this is insane, bro. Like Oda's paneling in this chapter and the fight sequence, bro, this is unreal, bro. I'm just gonna give you a heads up with that. And we then see like Loki charging up Ragnar, and then we cut back to a little short flashback again to Harold, when Loki like killed Harold, and we see, I don't care about how I'm remembered. That's not important. The only thing that matters is securing Elbaf's future. Isn't that right? So yeah, this line, isn't that right, is used a lot in this chapter, which could be implying that maybe like no all the like factions in One Piece, like there's all like so many nuances, like there's no like he's the right person, he's the wrong person. Like there's always like a lot going on behind the scenes. So it's great to see what Oda is trying to imply in this chapter, even with the Joyboy and Imu part of the chapter flashback, where we see that. We will talk about that later in the chapter. But here, bro, Loki charges at Ragnar and brings down the hammer onto Imu, and furiously shouting like, back then, what did you do to my father? And the scale here, I just want to talk about it. We can see the giant sword in Elbaf, bro. Like, this is huge. The Elbaf scaling, bro. Oh my god, I love to see these like zoom out panels of Elbaf, and as we see Loki like landing Ragnar, bro, with this Ragnar's face, where it's so cool, man. Like, look at this. Like, Oda is going, bro, Ragnar is just so one of the most cutest character, and like he's like Yonko level, by the way, guys. This is insane. So yeah, anyways, Loki like lines up Ragnar, and he's about to crush Imu with Ragnar, and Imu blocks the Ragnar attack with their Omen attack. And this Omen attack, it creates some sort of a demon shaped black form, and it's similar to Imu's silhouette, in a kind of way. So Imu blocks it, and there's like a huge like explosion from the impact of their attacks. And they're most mind you, their attacks, they're not like touching each other. So this is implying this is advanced Conqueror's Haki attack, like similar to Whitebeard and Roger during Odin's flashback, bro. Like, this is insane to see this, bro. Like, weird, like this is probably the most strongest like fight in One Piece, like the, the scale of fight, bro. Like Imu is easily the top one in the verse, and Loki is up there like top 5 at least, bro. Like this is insane. What Loki does in this chapter will like confirm you, like he's clears the old gen easily, bro. Like look at this, bro. The scale, the Ozuma panel of Elba, bro. This impact is knocking out 3 admirals all at once. Like I'm not joking. Like this is like crazy. And like if they were fighting on Egghead, bro, I strongly believe that Egghead would be destroyed just from the impact of Loki and Imu's clash. And we see like everyone getting blown away. And as we know, like remember the other Straw Hats were also near Loki's region, like Zoro, like Sanji, Nami, Jinbe, Frankie, and Lilith, Bonnie. They were also nearby. And we see like Sanji. We also see Sanji in this chapter, and I think Bonnie got hold of Sanji. So yeah, as we remember in the last chapter, like Imu and Sanji came into blows, and there was a huge explosion after which we didn't know what happened to Sanji, and then Loki showed up to fight Imu. So yeah, we can see Sanji. Maybe what is going on with him, I'm not sure, but he seems unconscious maybe, and Bonnie's like has got a hold of him, and we see the other stars, Frankie, Jinbe, and Nami as well. So yeah, I hope Sanji recovers and gets back into action as soon as possible. So yeah, anyways, we then see like continue with Loki and Imu's fight. This chapter is mostly Loki and Imu's fight, and this is so super hype, bro. Like it's finally getting some peak action, bro. And then we see Loki like is surprised, like I can't believe he tanked that. What's with these black flames? Like what sort of power do you have? Then Imu then again uses Omen, and they like inflates their body, similar to how like Luffy goes into giant form in Gear 5. And Imu is like describing their power. Like Imu Omen is simply Amu's military might. Loki is like surprised. Gigantification, its power dwells in all things. Like and then Imu like uses Omen, and they like uses the Omen, the demon shaped Omen, and they use it and make it their like sword into a hammer type shape, and they like they clash. Like Loki and Imu have an insane clash. Like this is one of my favorite like panels from the chapter. And bro, like this is crazy. Like look at the impact of their clash, bro. This is like top 1 fight in One Piece, like right now. I'm dead serious about it. We then see after the clash, like Imu parries the attack, and Imu goes up in the sky, and Loki is like surprised, like what is going on, and Imu then uses the Omen attack, and it turns into a sword, and this sword, bro, and this sword is called Nemesis, and Imu uses his sword to like pierce Loki right through the chest, and Imu is striking the same pose similar to Mihawk during his fight with Luffy in Marineford. So yeah, guys, and it looks like a black blade. The leakers were saying it's a black blade and not, but bro, like it seems like Imu like used the tip of their like blade or whatever you want to say that. I'm not sure what it's called. So Imu uses just the tip of their blade, and they like used Omen to like create a black sword, like enlarged from the tip of the sword, and Imu uses that to pierce Loki right through the chest. But this looks brutal, man. Like this is insane. And as Imu is like fighting Loki, Imu is also like simultaneously like explaining their abilities and what their power is. We then see like Loki like bleeding, bro. This is crazy. Like, and people after watching this panel were like saying after the leaks, they were saying that maybe Imu is connected to Mihawk. They got to have some sort of connection after this, because Oda is clearly drawing parallels between them, and maybe I believe Mihawk is some sort of like was a holy knight or a celestial dragon, and maybe Mihawk is Imu's son actually. Like who knows, bro? But for sure I believe in the theory right now, bro. Like Mihawk and Imu are for sure connected. Like it's no doubt about it. So yeah, anyway, we continue with that as Imu pierces Loki right through the chest. Loki starts bleeding, and Imu is like explaining their power, and Imu says strength is an attribute people naturally crave, and yet that craving can easily be satisfied via corruption. It merely requires one to submit their will to a covenant. And we then see like as little flashbacks to other people who are like making contracts with Imu and being corrupted, as we see Dorian Broggy getting corrupted, and Harold forming a covenant with Imu. And then Imu like continues, when their envy drives them, they will achieve power. Those 3 things together form a trinity known as dominion. Shall I grant thee the power of God? In one step thou wouldst go far beyond humanity. So Imu is like still offering Loki like to become a holy knight in exchange for like and giving more power, like Imu will give Loki more power and make him immortal, like Harold, and like for to form a covenant. But yeah, as we know, Loki is the man he is, bro. The top G, he know, like, no, his answer is he lines up a Ragnar attack. No, before that, like as Imu says, it forms a dominion, like corruption, covenant, and power all leads to a known as Dominion. And Loki Imu like blasts Loki's face with one of the Omen attacks, and then Loki counters it by lining up Ragnar and strike crushing Imu, bro. Like this is insane. Like they're going back and forth like non-stop. Like, and then we again see a big zoom out panel of Elbaf and that giant sword, bro. I'm pretty sure that giant sword is going to come into play pretty soon, and we also see a bit of the Heaven Realm. So yeah, I hope this fight somehow like gets to Heaven Realm and we finally get to see what's up there, because the Heaven Realm, literally have no idea about what's going on up there. So yeah, I'm super hyped to check it out. And that giant sword, I believe Luffy is gonna pick up the giant sword and fight with Inu. Like I have a feeling like Oda is like giving a lot of focus on that giant sword in this chapter. So I'm super hyped to see what happens with that. And then yeah, anyways, we continue with the fight as like Loki crushes Imu, and they're both like having a bit of conversation amid their fight, and they're a bit getting exhausted. And as we know, mind you, Loki is already like getting injured, bro. He got injured by Shamrock, and then he had a fight with Imu, like in Gunko's body, where Loki was in his dragon form for too long, which took a toll on his body. So yeah, Loki is kind of really nerfed right now. This is not even his full power now, so this is crazy. So and Loki is like asking Imu, so God's dominion, that's her power? And Loki is like struggling to like breathe, Bro, he got pierced in the chest. Like, how is he alive? Like, I'm surprised. And Loki then says, it sounds more like a deal with the devil to me. Then Imu says one of my favorite lines in the chapter. Imu says, is there a difference between a god and a devil? Bro, like this like puts into so much, this like in retrospective, it's crazy like when you think about it, Bro, like, is there a difference between a god and a devil? So bro, this makes you think like whatever gods, like we have learned about so many types of gods, and like four different types, and there are other gods in One Piece that we have come across, but now it makes you wonder, like, are those actually gods, or they're actually devils? Like, bro, like Imu knows that, like the most interesting part here is Imu's like calm, like Imu's not like bragging, but knows what they're talking about, like. And Imu seems like very in like control of the situation. They like already accepted what they are, and Imu says that between a god and a devil, bro. So yeah, Imu, there's like a lot going on, bro. Like there's so much layer, like Oda is laying the foundation for in Imu's character, that makes you wonder like what's up with him, like what made him like come into this sort of like view about the world, because this is crazy. Like, is there a difference between a god and a devil? So yeah, all the gods in One Piece that we found out about, like the Earth God, the Sun God, the Rain God, the Forest God, they could in fact be like the Sun Devil, the Earth Devil, the Sea Devil, the Rain Devil, or the Forest Devil. It could be in that, So yeah, Imu, like, very interesting this line, one of my favorites in this chapter. Then Loki then replies, beats me. I just know I ain't gonna let myself be dominated by anyone. Then Imu then says, the world itself rejoices in a state of dominion. Then, bro, one of the most hyped moments in the chapter, only a little panel, but we know. Whenever Joyboy shows up, it's one of those chapters. And we see a little flashback of Joyboy and Imu, as Imu is like telling Loki about their power and how like people find true happiness in like a state of domination. And we see like Joyboy and Imu, they're like having a conversation in a flashback. Joyboy, as we know, he's still like silhouetted and shaded. And we also see Imu. And Imu, bro, I don't understand why Oda like shaded Imu or kept Imu a silhouette in this like flashback, because as we know, Imu, we already are seeing like Imu's face here. Like, unless Imu has like another like base like form face, or in this one, the one we're seeing in Elbaf is just their devil form, Maybe that's why Oda is hiding that face. And bro, from the look of this angle, like Imu looks like a female. I'm not gonna lie, this is very similar to the silhouette Imu that most of us thought that actually will turn out to be a female because of all their feminine feature. In this like flashback where we see Imu, they look very similar to a female. They're wearing a veil, some sort of. Then you can see a shading of their hair like coming out of their body. And Joyboy, bro, we see like crazy detail in Joyboy, where we can see like Joyboy most likely had a curly hair, like similar to Inaki Godoy. Like Maybe Oda is referencing like Joyboy to be like Inaki Godai, and I am just gonna give my one of my thought like how Joyboy is gonna look like. I believe Joyboy is gonna have like curly hair, and he will be very similar to Luffy, but there will be a one big difference, and that he will have red hair. Like I'm calling it now. Like Joyboy will have a red hair and an eye patch, and he will look very similar to Luffy. And Oda, you know, like Shanks, he loves Shanks, so Shanks' mom, I believe, most likely is part of the D clan, and she is like one of the like direct descendants of Joyboy. And I believe like Joyboy has like red hair, like for sure. Like that's one of my like like favorite theories right now. Like I'm just gonna let you guys know about that. So yeah, anyway, and as we see, like Imu is like thinking about Joyboy, and Imu is like asking Joyboy, like, isn't that right? Again, this line again, you know. So yeah, Oda is like really emphasizing in the fact like about who was right or who was wrong during the Void Century. Like as Vegapunk also stated, like he doesn't know who was actually like evil or who was actually good. So yeah, like Oda is like throwing out like giving us like the questions to find out about ourselves. Like what do we think? Take away from the story, like who was actually good or bad. And bro, like I love this, like what Oda's laying here. And then Imu then shouts like, isn't that right, Joyboy? Again, like, and we see a crazy amount of haki, Conqueror's haki spread across Elbaf. And we see like Luffy back in Walrus School, and Luffy is still eating, and Luffy is like straight sitting right now after sensing that haki, and he's saying, I need to eat more, like I need to eat more or else I cannot beat this guy. Like I've never felt a haki like this before. Like who is this? Like this haki is so strong, man. So yeah, this confirms like Luffy, bro, like if Luffy is saying that, you know that Imu is the strongest in the verse, like, and what if you guys thought that Kaido was stronger than Imu? Those agendas are dead. Like Luffy right here says like, I got to eat more or else we cannot win here, and I'll have to give my 100%, and so that's why I have to eat more and more. And he's like eating, and he got fat, bro. Like this is insane, bro. Like Luffy is I don't know, man. Like we hope, like I hope like Luffy goes crazy, bro. We all know like he will go crazy, and that, and Oda, like I hope Oda like buffs up Gear 5 and we see some new sort of abilities of Gear 5. I don't think there's gonna be another like new transformation or sort right here right now, but I think Luffy is gonna get a good mastery of Gear 5 against Imu, and he will do pretty well with his haki. Maybe he will get some sort of haki upgrade, I believe, like with Conqueror's haki and armament haki, you know, or observation haki. I would, but bro, like I'm super hyped to see Luffy get back into the action. But in the meantime, bro, he is in the back seat and he's like recovering, and he's getting ready for the Imu smoke. So trust in Luffy, guys. I know this looks really bad, but I think Luffy's gonna do pretty well, guys. Like I have a feeling, bro. Like, and Oda said that Luffy will go crazy in the next volume because he was not in the cover of the previous volume where we see 1144. 1114, where we see like rocks and the other rock spires in the volume cover. After that, people asked like Oda like what will be the cover of the next volume, and Oda said to look out for Luffy because he will go crazy in this volume. So I believe Oda was referring to Luffy versus Imu here in Elbaf, you know. So I'm super hyped for that, bro. Like Luffy, time to lock in, brother, bro. We need you, man. Loki is fighting Imu by himself. So anyways, we cut to the final double page of the chapter, and this is insane. As Imu is like having some sort of like flashback about Joyboy, Loki like again like lines up Ragnar and strikes Imu right in the middle, bro. Like he strikes Imu with the Ragnar. Imu like gets clubbed by Ragnar, and Loki like smashes like Imu and attack Emu's like Emu like flies away across Elbaf and hits the Adam tree. And bro, like this is insane. As soon as Emu hits the Adam tree, and Loki says, that tells me one thing, you are underestimating, you're lost in thought, right? And then as the Emu like flies across Elbaf and hits the Adam tree, smashes into the Adam tree, we see like Emu's like bleeding, and as Emu like watches in Loki's direction, Loki has already transformed into his Needhawk form, and Loki like shoots a Thorheim attack at Emu, and Emu like I believe Emu like uses some sort of like omen attack again to like block the initial attack of Loki, but bro, like it hits Emu eventually, and Emu is like, the chapter ends with like Emu saying like, thou really has returned, and Emu is like having a smile, you know, like the bro, like this is crazy. Like Loki like used Thorheim attack on Emu, and Emu tried to block it. I think he blocked it, but he kind of took a hit. And then he came out smiling, saying that thou really has returned. And that's the end of the chapter 1181. Bro, like this is crazy, bro. Like, oh my god, this choreography of the fight, bro. Like, I cannot wait for the anime to get here. You just know that Vincent and the boys are gonna cook with this chapter, you know, bro. Like, you look at the scale of everything. As Loki hits Imu, bro, base Loki with Ragnar is sending Imu flying across Elba, bro. Like, Loki is insane. Like, top five goated, bro. Like, he clears the ocean easily, guys. Like this feat alone, I know many people will say that Imu was distracted with Joyboy's thoughts, but bro, still, like, to catch Imu off guard and sending him flying across Elbaf, and Imu smashes into the Atom Tree, bro, and Loki then blasts a Thor hand at Imu, bro. Like, this is unreal, man. And Imu is like, and Imu comes out and smiling, bro. This is insane. Like, bro, like Imu just gave the Sukuna smile, and Imu has like flexing their jawline and a fearless smile, bro. Like, yeah, man, this smile, like, it spells trouble. And yeah, as we know, like, Loki, he will do well, bro. Like, and he still has the hybrid form, mind you. Like, I believe Loki still has one more trump card in his bag, and he will do pretty well, bro. But look at Imu, bro. He's smiling, bro. He's just having the time of his life, going out and duking it out with their old enemies, you know. Like, Imu is having a very nostalgic period, and Imu seems like very used to like fighting this sort of battle, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, we really have one of the generational final villain in the making right here, bro. Like, Imu is giving that Sukuna level 5, bro. Like, I really hope Oda cooks with Imu, and it's great to see like Imu finally throwing hands. Like, I was in a doubt, honestly, because after watching Imu during the God Valley and the previous Elbaf with Gonko with Dama Reversi gimmick, I thought that Imu would be, you know, like some sort of like magic spells merchant, and Imu would not be able to throw hands and stuff. But bro, like, Imu is a battle junkie, bro. What I'd say, bro. Like, Imu knows how to throw hands when it's needed, and it's great to see like Imu like finally getting into action, bro. Like, yeah, that's it for the chapter. And bro, like, I believe next chapter we're gonna see Loki go into hybrid form, and Imu and Loki are gonna be throwing hands for like, most of the chapter, I believe. And we're gonna see some sort of a new power system from Imu that will like overwhelm Loki and takes him out of the fight. And as Imu is about to finish off Loki, I believe that's when like Luffy shows up right at the end of the chapter as a cliffhanger to save Loki. I believe it will be similar to like Doflamingo and like Law and Dressrosa, where like Luffy came in the last second to like save like Law. So I believe there's gonna be some sort of similar moment right here, where then Luffy will take the fight from Loki, and we're gonna have like Imu versus Luffy as the final fight of Elbaf. So I'm super hyped for that, and I can't wait for the next week's chapter. Oh, mind you, there is I believe a break next week because it's a Golden Week. Not a break from Oda, but it's a Golden Week in Japan, so it's a break from Shonen Jump. And maybe we'll get early spoilers, but I doubt it, because this week some of the leakers, they got caught, you know, the One Piece main leakers, so, and they're being like copyrighted from Suisha on X. So maybe, bro, this could be the last leak that we get of One Piece chapter, and after that we are all official only, you know. So yeah, that could be it. But I hope, bro, leaks honestly bring hype, bro. I honestly love leaks. I will not mind the official, but leaks, bro, I just love leaks, bro. You just get to experience the chapters with the entire community, and there's like a hype building up throughout the entire week leading up to the official one, you know. So yeah, I'm super hyped for, and let's see what happens with those. But yeah, guys, that's it for the chapter. And bro, like, so much going on, man. Like, Imu and Joyboy were most likely friends. We see them hanging out. Peak, man, peak, bro. What more can I say, man? Luffy is about to join in, so watch out, Luffy, bro. Trust in Luffy, guys. Trust in Luffy. So yeah, guys, that's it gonna be for the video, and thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.